And then about phase 5, they start actually moving through and spreading out, trying to gain a little bit of control as well. So that's really nice to see from ETA, and I want to see it again.
It is one team that, honestly, a lot of teams got a chance to just push up the leaderboard here, especially for the middle of the pack. Godlike. They ended up being eliminated early on, right? We saw them start hot at the beginning of the day. It has slowed down a little bit for this squad, especially considering they're currently in that contention for top 5. But it is a big opportunity. Lace, Matt Natura, if you can just stop hogging the mic and pass it on. There you go. Thank you very much. But as I was saying, Lace, it's a big opportunity for some of these other squads to be able to jump up that leaderboard. One of them being none other than 721.
Honestly, it's been such a ride watching this team, and by that, I mean they are making micro adjustments mid-game. Still, though, getting a little caught out. I mean, and this is from the likes of, like, I gotta chuck in S2G there as well, because they're literally holding this front position against 721 on the north side. And they were at about like a three-play apart. And it's just unfortunate. 721 are sort of making these, like, I guess, minor adjustments to have that line of sight on them. And I mean, they're getting caught out by these massive split holds from these teams. But yeah, I've got to add S2G there into the mix because they are performing incredibly well.
I feel like you've been supporting 721 a lot today. Yesterday was Vitality. Can you support Nonchalant Red Falls? Just for no particular reason.
They don't need to be supported extra.
Juju.
I'll take extra points for them.
Yeah. So
can you just say Hyunbin one time for us, please?
Hyunbin?
Okay, there you go. That's an extra 15 eliminations for Hyunbin today.
Guys, I have a reverse caster curse, by the way. Did you know that?
That's called a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it a reverse caster curse for everyone at home. But yeah, just PayPal me.
We'll hit you up.
You especially you, Max. Okay, we might find a good rhythm here, especially if you're able to curse a team, she'll uncurse them, and then you and I, Neptura, will try to curse them again. But for some of the other teams, a big surprise for me has to be Alpha 7. We kind of have to bring them back, right? For Alpha 7, we're expecting a bit of a jump up today of the likes of what 721 has been able to do, some of the other squads like EDA, but it hasn't been the case for Alpha 7.
No, it hasn't. They had a couple of really good spots, and then in this last couple of games, it really feels like they've fallen back down in terms of that momentum. They're not really building on anything, and we are looking now at the overall ranking because yeah, it is EDA. A7's not on the front page, and I think we know why, but EDA, hello.
EDA jumped up all the way to second place. That's what happens when you get a back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, a back-to-back will do that for you. So really good jump up from EDA. Generally a team that I thought would be middle of the pack. I was not expecting to be in here, the top 5, but they just shut us all up right now, and I'm absolutely loving it. The late blessing is real apparently right now, though. Looking at this page, Yangon Galacticos, day 1 Niptro, showing some like sparks of aggression. I was really excited, but today this team just fully disappeared, I would say.
Yeah, it's weird. I was really hoping for a lot more coming on through because yeah, they've been so nice. They've not been playing passive. They've been trying to do a lot of things. They've been trying to control a lot of area, and it's just not really coming through. I don't know if that's because teams are, pushing that aggression a little bit more and they're getting caught out, or if it's more of just faltering in mentality.
Looking at this one, I'm sorry, I have to go down at this point. Tiamba, what is going on? They're so passive. This does not look like the Tiamba we saw play so well back in the Macau Invitational. They look like just a shadow of their past selves. So Tiamba at
the
this
whole
point,
region, honestly, the whole Chinese region looks like that because they have not been performing well at all.
All gamers had like some good moments, but Tiamba, I would say, is the team that was expecting a lot of aggression, and I'm sorry to say I've been disappointed, especially by QZZ. He's not even taking any fights. They're so passive. There's still time to exit the bottom 3, but top 5 for Tiamba, not happening.
All right, well, hey, I've been able to surprise you guys in the past, so I'm gonna surprise. No, keep looking forward, sir. You're in class right now.
Okay.
Because I have a surprise for y'all that you get a chance to open up. Here you go, Max. Hold this for me.
Oh, gift. It's been so nice.
We're going to be opening them up. You guys are going to get some mummies. I get to keep the rest, so I'm not even going to try to open one up. But please, do me a favor. Open them up and see which one you guys are going to be getting. If you get the one, that'll be sick.
It rips. Wait.
Oh my god, it's okay. You're not gonna keep the box.
ASMR.
You're gonna keep what's inside. Oh, and there's also inside a package, so you're gonna have to do 2 unboxings for me.
Oh, I got a card. What do I have?
What do you think you're gonna be getting? No, don't look at the card right now. Just open the thing.
Okay, don't look at the card. I'm gonna be getting the blue one, the blue and the white.
Blue and the white.
I'm going to get the blue one.
Oh, you did. That's actually pretty sick. Okay, Lace, what are you gonna get?
Okay, ready? Are you ready?
Oh, squishy.
Yellow.
I got a classic mummy.
Nice.
I
Those
win.
are sick.
I win.
Those are sick. Okay,
Your one?
I like them. You know what?
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Doesn't matter who wins, who got the best one, because now I get to keep them all. Yeah.
Oh, Looty. Dude, we're halfway through day 2 of
that's
Group
close.
B. It's crazy. We've got some teams in the bubble as well. TT Project, Dopeness, Tianba.
Yeah. I would love to step in one of these teams. Step in?
Look, dude, I don't know if you're good enough for this game.
Oh, no, I'm not speaking about playing. I'm so bad. I'm speaking like a motivational speech, like a coach.
Yeah, a motivation. Okay, that could work. Yeah.
How do you do?
Oh, how would I do it? I don't know. I would say something like, guys, we're in the bubble. We have to do something. But, you know, trust each other. We have to play our own game. Trust the IGL.
Oh, that's nice. That's calm. That's cool.
Yeah, man. I feel like I shouldn't ask this, but how would you do it?
I will do it the French way, like something like... Bon, maintenant, les gars, on va arrêter de faire de la merde. Hein. On va continuer à jouer plus correctement. On va faire attention à la zone. On va faire des kills et on va arrêter de se chier dessus.
Dude, you terrified the kids. What did you just say?
I just say something like, we're a big family. We got this, and let's win together.
I don't think I believe you.
Back to caster, guy. Game
What
4
did you
now.
say?
I said back to caster.
What did you say?
Game 4. It's now.
Hey, you know what? I don't think I believe him either. I don't think that's quite what he said, but my French is not quite good enough. We'll have to tune in with Max to see if that was real.
We will have to tune in with Matt. Unfortunately, he's laid dead out on a table at the moment, completely slammed out by a chicken leg from Evil 7, apparently. But we are getting in towards our 4th game of the day so far. Ida on a back-to-back, which was kind of amazing to watch and is making it quite difficult for some of the teams at the top. We thought it was kind of a secured top 5. Ida, however, battling their way in with fair ease on day 2.
It seems like they found something, figured something out from that first day of games, moving into today. So they set it back over on the desk before they were knocked unconscious. They are now in 2nd place, which is a huge jump up coming through from Ida. A Turkish team potentially going to represent in a direct qualification spot in towards those finals would be great. But now we have our final Erangel of the group stages. For Group B, this is their last chance to take a turn around the grassy pastures.
Some nice even points available here on Erangel as well. Teams want to make it happen. Unfortunately, today has been pretty rough in terms of play maps. A lot of ones down towards the south side of the map, making it a little bit more comfortable.
Oh, you had to do it to them.
We are going to get another, actually, from Lepovka down towards the northwest side of Millie Base, which is, again, I would say is a pretty awkward playing path. It is playable over towards the eastern side. Places like Yasnaya, Lepovka, Milta, Mini Milta, head down towards Milta itself. There's some splits available towards that western edge. But yeah, good luck getting over towards the likes of North George, Southern.
It would be quite a long journey. I mean, maybe grab some vehicles, swing out, but you're contesting the teams in Yaz for those vehicle drops and things like that, so it can get very, very dicey. Stout Kameshki, maybe a little bit more accessible. Yeah, okay. We'll take a look at who's going to drop out. Actually, kind of only Tianba heading up towards that north side, so potential for them to get to somewhere like Severny quite quickly on this plane path, but it's the teams that are still in the plane after it starts to cross the channel between these two, the mainland and that military island, that are going to be in with a bit of a dicey scenario, I think, Blank.
Yeah, Aura's out early, though, towards that northern edge. Godlike currently dropped out from that top 5 as well, so they're looking to claw their way back in. Now, they've had troubles on this type of drop spot before, but they said they fixed it, and I would say they absolutely have today. I think they're dropping a lot more cohesively going forward, which is making things much, much easier for them. They're not losing players on the outside, and obviously that's paid dividends over towards the first map of the day, where they looked really, really good over in Rondo. That's an unfortunate one. Over towards the northwest side, we're heading towards North George.
Hey, you know what? that North George circle does allow teams to invest more time in getting out to the drop spots in that location, right? So it's maybe, blessing in disguise is quite a strong way of putting it, but I feel like it's definitely going to give a lot of teams an opportunity to go out to those locations, whereas circles anywhere else would have meant that you're still going to stay cramped on in. So we could see a little bit more of a disparate situation set up coming on through. Over in Rozhok, you've got 721 GS with Hustler Crew down underneath them on the south side, and Ida from Pachinki on the north edge looking to extend their influence towards Ruins.
It is interesting, 2 minutes into the game, we are already getting long drops coming through. Pretty wild. Schweppes will find themselves to finish on that one, but still, 2 players going down isn't ideal. Went for the old graveyard walk on that one. Pop the players in the vehicle, get a move on.
I suppose they're worried about retribution for that one coming through, so instead of committing the time to res inside the garage, you want to get onto a higher ground position and get away. TT Project will just lose one cleanly. Fantastic stuff. If you guys want to be looking clean as well, there's one very, very good way to do that. That is with the Naruto skins that have been added to the game. Make sure that you're logging in, grabbing those skins, getting those unlocked, because the Ninetales Fury AUG looks mighty fine. I don't think there's one in the back of that van though, Ida. Unfortunately, you're going to have to get in game and go for those.
Okay, so these players already got it. Slonic takes a tumble. Sadly, this is over towards the western side of the map. I imagine it's probably hit over towards the top of a building and then fallen down, but Wolves were able to get over towards this position fairly quickly. If you cast your minds way back to yesterday, Wolves actually sent Necessary very quickly over towards the Finn, over towards the northwest side here of Georgia Pole, the game that Aura ended up winning versus Vitality. This is a pretty standard rotation for them, except this time the whole team's here.
It's a big benefit when you have all of your team alive. Generally, one of the better strategies in PUBG Mobile, have 4 players when the other team does not. Works out quite well. Arena, it looks like they did manage to get their reses coming on through, but instead of taking too much time to grab that healing, they have opted to move northward towards South George, the compounds to the west of Everest, to Hospital as well. Maybe they can patch themselves back together there. Ooh, a nice little pickup for the Wolves, and taking a player down from Hustler Crew, playing on as 3. In that South George crates area, the Wolves have a little bit more latitude now, and they didn't even lose a player fully. Their knock that was sent their way does get repaired.
Yeah, they'll have to keep on going. For Wolves, it is a really, really difficult approach over the next few days, over the next day, right? They have 36 points total. Likely they'll stay in this middle pack here, get themselves through towards the next stage of the tournament, but getting into the top 5, very, very difficult. 3 more maps to do it in. You're looking at 80 points. It would have to be the most unreal next 3 games. We start to count teams out right now. For 721 GS, I don't think I've seen enough out of this team. I genuinely think we are locking this down between S2G and Godlike, making it in. That feels more reasonable to me. I'd quite like to see Godlike retain that top side, but yeah, I would say those top 7 right now, I wouldn't mind any of those teams going through into the top 5. I think everyone's very interchangeable there. Maybe not Vitality, but everyone else, absolutely.
I feel like if I was going to take one team out of this top 5, and this is going to ruffle some feathers, I imagine, but I think it would be E-Arena. This is the team that did so well in that first match. They broke records, they smashed ceilings. But since then, it's just been lackluster. I mean, they only just surpassed doubling their scoreline from that one single match in their overall gameplay. I think it was a match or 2 ago that they were able to pass that. So I feel like if you're going to take a team out, it kind of has to be E-Arena, and I probably would replace them with Godlike in this scenario. I feel like S2G today has been a better team, but I think Godlike has had consistency across the 2 days in a way that has impressed me.
Well, Godlike's just been more consistent overall, right, in terms of the adaptations that have come through. I think that they are improving steadily, and surely I would agree with you that for E-Arena, that first map was amazing. It will go down in history books as one of the coolest rondos of all time. Unfortunately, haven't been able to live up to the hype other than that. And it is sad to see because they were on fire that game in Stadium. But yeah, I do think Godlike probably does deserve the spot a little bit more at this point. Unless E-Arena is able to pull some stuff out in the near future. They do have a very central position on this next circle, though, so potentially this is the map to do it.
The difficulty, though, at the moment is that E-Arena, as we saw earlier, did not get a lot of loot on board early. They moved in towards South George at sort of quite raggedy loot. Hopefully they've been able to pick through some of these buildings, but they would have been under duress from the teams around them. We saw Wolves in there fairly early on. We saw Hustler Crew in there fairly early on. So in South George, I feel like they've had enough time now probably to be able to pick through those buildings and grab enough loot on board, add it to the coffers. But there is always going to be that question, are they going to be under-looted for this scenario?
Still plenty of loot around that area to grab, though, right? They're down towards apartments. There's a fair few buildings to pilfer there. I think a lot of teams realize that they're already ahead. I was surprised that Wolves didn't make a run further in, but maybe they also expected E-Arena to get here quicker than they did originally. So for the Wolves, they opted to sit out a little bit sooner down towards Hospital. Hustler Crew moved up and were quickly rebuffed as Godlike managed to make this long rotate underneath Yasnaya over towards North George. I think it's a good spot. This could equally head over towards the north side of the map very easily off the back of this one. Alpha 7 back to their stomping grounds. Yesterday looked fairly good. I mean, there was a good start for them. Unfortunately, the capability of transferring that same prowess we saw in the first 3 games, not really there going forward. Again, Alpha 7, for them, it is a little bit scary. They're on the cusp, 37 points down towards 26. That could switch up, but they have a fair few teams as a buffer.
They do, but they've also got a track record of getting eliminated at the group stage at global tournaments, you know, so that's gonna weigh heavily on the mind as this circle is, and that is beautiful for Alpha 7. Up in North George, they were right at the edge of the pack. They're thinking, oh, maybe we can scamper across this bridge, but no, they can hold strong now.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, for Godlike, actually, North George wasn't bad. This could easily head towards the northern side, which it does here. And you can see that Alpha 7 do have the center dot right now. They're over towards the western side of North George. Tiamba, you got Eagle, taking a couple of shots through, trying to ward off any players around them. But yeah, this is going to get very hot very quickly. There's a huge amount of water still involved. Can't really see it because of all the players littering over towards Everest. But this is lilting northern.
It does seem to be. I mean, about 50% of the circle is on the north side of the river. And it's going to be teams moving across. TT Project heading to the water. A lot of conflict now around those bridge crossings. I think it was Dopeness trying to go across. Some conflict between 721 and Wolves. Wolves have swung all the way out east side, despite being in South George so much earlier on. Losing Baton, but they are across now, and one of the few teams to make it through over onto that northern edge. The rest of the bridges much more treacherous.
I mean, Wolves actually getting through here with 3 players, pretty miraculous, honestly. You're passing through Box Compound as well as Watchtower. That's a lot of capability to take your entire team down. I think a lot more teams are going to struggle to make that crossing and probably will take more casualties than just that. Now, E-Arena, are they going to go for the bridge? That's the question, John.
I think it is a pretty big question. At the moment, it feels like they're trying to hold the bridge to stop teams from the south moving on through, but that is then a trade-off in terms of the time you could maybe spend navigating that bridge yourself or trying to open up an option on that northern side. Being trapped on the bridge, though, is the worst-case scenario. You do not want to be locked in there. A team comes in behind you. You find that it's impossible to move through on the northern side. There's always the water rotate as well as an option, if it comes to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately for them, they've got 2 teams breathing down their necks in Nongshim as well as Vitality. 2 very scary teams, I would say, to go up against here for E-Arena, and they're trying to hold both of them out right now. I think that you can have a good idea that these teams are coming from the south side. So again, E-Arena, like you say, trying to cut out as much of this southern portion of the map as possible for themselves, but a difficult task, a very, very difficult task.
Ooh, Etch crashing onto the northern throws of TT Project, and that leaves TT Project on 1 player alive. 30 points, remember, on the cards for TT Project, which means they are very much in danger of dropping into the danger zone of 14th to 16th at the moment, and with only 1 player, they are looking pretty shaky. The only saving grace for them is that there is another team behind them who have also lost quite a few players. Dopeness playing on us too, but they are much safer in towards the middle of it. Oh, that's a lot of water, Black.
That's really unenjoyable. There is a world where this goes back south towards the bridge. There is a world where that happens. I think it's much more likely that we end up in North George, but it's very rare that you get these circles towards the mid-portion of the game with both North and South George in play. This is a scary one, very, very scary one. Many teams looking for refuge in North George right now. Everyone trying to kick their feet up, but many noisy neighbors.
Looking at Ida, Vitality, as you said, Nongshim as well. Well, we're looking at Nongshim now on the south side, trying to make a punch through. Irina took a knock over towards Joker, but that is isolated and nobody from Nongshim stands beneath them to be able to get that flush. Vitality trying to navigate the area now to the southwest side of it, but the urban environment is littered with danger as XZY steps up for more sprays down out the window, but doesn't quite get the full kahuna going there. And now is under a huge amount of threat. Nongshim Red Force get obliterated.
I mean, for Nongshim, down to XZY, and then shortly after exiting the lobby, 80 points here opens up things for Godlike, S2G. The Arena, I felt like they were the ones doing most of the holding. It actually turns out to be Vitality, taking shots over towards Nongshim Red Force, getting most of that damage in. But again, that is the benefit of being front of the pack here, front of the queue for E-Arena. Schwebs is going to take high ground, though, looking over towards Vitality. You didn't lose all their players. They're still as a four-man. Now, can E-Arena hold out versus this squad? Struggled to do it in the past.
Simi, yeah, I really feel we should be doing more with our lives, man. More? Yeah, like work hard, optimize.
Struggle to do it in the past. A similar circle like this.
Jewels and the boys.
That's a very tricky
बहुत
team.
अच्छी है अपने पे बहुत प्यारी positioning
The
W.
Ray duo coming in.
Mostly zone इन्हीं apartment के आसपास end होता
है. It is a nasty opponent to come.
जहाँ तक मैंने जितनी बार ऐसे zone देखे
we were reminded by
Seashore के side ही end होता है. Opposite side road के apartment पे end नहीं होता.
The only player here.
Seashore वाले apartment पे ज़्यादा end होता है.
Triple title.
जहाँ पे अपन.
PMWC. There is an opportunity on the cards for E-Arena to be
चलना
able to make
मानिया.
history on that front. As
Let's go,
he
boy.
was able to win 2 of them, I believe, with Vampire in some of the earlier days of the tournament.
Guys, subscribe मारो 2.53 million की तरफ बढ़ते हुए.
To 2026.
Jewels में जो good luck लिए.
It's been one game. They had one good game, right?
Yeah.
So it's not looking massively hopeful so far. Again, this is one of those games where they could strike out a 15-pointer, see themselves much safer going into map 5 and 6 over on Miramar. But goodness me, urban finishes never fun. We're going to get our next circle real shortly. S2G finally breaking in.
Apartment में तो क्या Victor Gang बनेगा 4 बंदे.
Our observers do find the map eventually.
This is nice.
कोई split नहीं है भाई, 3 building में split है बस.
Map shot. There we go. Beautiful. I could see it in their minds. They stepped
Let's go. मैं बोला था.
It did.
पानी के side वाले apartment में end होता है.
This is a bridge circle. So what do you do
Let's
here?
go. अपन रहेंगे अगले zone में भी रहेंगे अपन.
Need to move right now. Sure,
अगले zone में भी रहेंगे. Bro, bridge के इस side 3 team है रे. Vitality.
Just sit there and
ये और
ruin
ईडा.
the day for actually.
Damn.
Very difficult to ruin Vitality's day right now. They're chilling. But for Ida, this is nasty.
Damn, bro.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. John, this is not just a bridge circle. I don't think you can announce it like that. This is an insane circle.
Interesting circle.
We're going to be playing underneath the bridge for a long time. E-Arena's position became all the more important.
We need this, boys. We need this we need to convert this game. Come on. Ganpati Bappa Moria.
Like, where does it go next? He's going to have to hard shift back over towards that northern side, if anything. But it could come back down towards the south.
Nah. South आया तो मानिया ना को long range rock है.
Insane position to be on. For all of our squads, Godlike loses 1. Vitality looking to move in. Beautiful bouncer.
Up the staircase.
यार छत पे घूम रहा था क्या? लोग फिनिश कैसे हो गया?
For E-Arena, they've already taken a knock in this location before. Eagle want to get stuck in. A third-party hero could be big. I think that's what came through just there. Darkin able to land the shots over towards Federalis, but Razak is in the building, looks to pop that smoke, keep them in a bit of cover there. The res comes through. Schweppes has to move for the Molotov, and the burn is able to take down Joker. Schweppes maybe next for it.
Technical भाई, thank you to 200 views भाई. ये मारो, please मार दो. Vitality are the best in the world. Just kill EA, bro. Just kill EA.
On 2 players.
Let's go. और पानी में सर्वाइव करेंगे दोनों।
From Vitality have been just
छत
disgusting.
पे
Like, that's
caught हो
actually
गया रे।
phenomenal. The air burst on the top side, you do not see players hit those very often with such.
I imagine that there are going to be plenty of people putting on their swimming goggles for this final circle, Blank. A lot of remnants. The saving grace of this circle, if there is one, is the fact that the majority of the buildings in North George are still in. It's going to mean that the next circle is particularly brutal, but there is a lot of area to contain all of these players, whereas in an open zone, that might not be the case. At the moment, Edge, they pushed in from that northwest side. S2G looking to follow in behind on that northwest edge as everybody's crowded around those apartment buildings.
Aura trying to get rid of Edge. Over on that western edge. Alpha 7 a little bit further in. Again, good opportunity here for Alpha 7 to try and solidify that position on the middle side of the tables. I think they realize they're not going to hit that top 5 today. But what they can do is ensure they don't drop into the bottom 3. Send home Tiamba, Edge, Hustler Crew, all the ones to go out now. See, the Alpha 7 fans currently watching with bated breath here.
That North George drop. Alpha 7, Godlike, both have been here for a very, very long time in North George. Now the neighbors are noisy. Make sure to keep them under control. Try and find a little sense of decorum in the zone. Tiamba protecting their patch, and there we go. But it's still so much water in this one, Blank. That whole stretch of bridge. And the south side fight between Vitality and Ida is gonna need to pop off, and that is how you want to start it. Vitality open with a knock over towards Rita, their forward position. That's gonna draw the backlines from Ida forwards because they don't have a lot of time either before this zone starts closing. Less than 30 seconds to get him back up, to get in a position to jet across that bridge, or indeed jet underneath it.
Yeah, Razy is just a good spot here. That's gonna massively slow down Ida, like you say. It's a hard position to be in going forward. The Vitality, how do they want to make this cross that? I think TT Project not really in a position to hold them out on the other side of the bridge. A lot of teams likely not looking that way, trying not to expose themselves, but Vitality still have to make their way in. Where do they crash onto? Are they going to send it first? Looks like they're setting up the smoke train. I don't think they're banking on every single player making it, but right now everyone's on full HP. This is a very efficient cross from them.
They made it through the first break. E-Arena are underneath the bridge, so they do not have a say on this, making it to the middle spot. This is a good hold position against Ida. I think that they're wise to not try and send it all the way across because they just don't probably have enough information to know where is open on that northern side. It's just not possible for them to have scouted it. So just sitting up here, holding that south edge, they can start to slowly go forwards on that bridge in a future instance, and Ida, they're just going to have to go into the water and try and swim it.
Yeah, Ida going to send that over towards the eastern side here. Vitality probably sees this, but can't quite make the angles happen here because they are trying to avoid the shots coming through from the northern side, from the buildings, from the windows, in apartments. Tony K dropping down from E-Arena, trying to get some shots himself, providing that information back towards the rest of the team. See Hustler Crew here, also Loco trying to work his way in. Final player there from TT Project did go down, 30 points as well. So TT Project in the danger zone. Dopeness tied up with Tiamba, who found 3 elims this match.
Yeah, on that east side, Tiamba actually have a pretty good spot on it. Mortman and Tony K both able to get the angles. Tony K steps up onto the cliffs. He's not out of the zone just yet, but has a little bit more time to play with it. Stage 5, he's full HP, he's got some stims going as well. He can hold here for quite a while and make Ida's life really tricky. Rita goes down. Emre next up on the chopping block. There's the spray and there's the connect. E-Arena doing bits to stay up in the top 5 and take down one of their closest competitors in the run.
Some incredible shots coming through from E-Arena. I mean, Tony K hitting those was nasty. There's a possibility to kind of like eke against this as well. Pull a weapon for a very short amount of time there, you can see. Just try and spam your screen and get the shot off. But you see here, S2G also are looking this way from underneath. Next circle though, where will it go? Will Vitality get thrown a bone here? Will we head out towards the bridge? Have one of the most unbelievable groups of all time over 2 days.
Vitality with the double drop down. They're down into the water here. I mean, they know they're probably not getting across the bridge, so I guess it makes sense. Drawing fire from teams like S2G across the way. See if that's going to pay out for them. They may just stymie everything on the south edge. In the meantime, Godlike trying to hold as much ground as they can. Tiamba behind them. Yangon Galacticos with a little entry there as a duo in one of the puzzle pieces. And the remnants of Plenty team who has fallen before them. Now everyone trying to make their patch in North George.
Aura still, decent spot. Vitality tried to use the vehicles to get good information on where these players were at before attempting to make their move forward, but it's got to be some snaking swims to the coastline. Razak's going to take a quick breather in the meantime. S2G also along the way. Lost, peeks out for a little bit too long. An overzealous nade maybe, but does get quite the distance over towards GS.
Gets pretty close, but yeah, not quite the full distance. Yangon Galacticos with 2 against 3 from Godlike as we tune back into the puzzle pieces. Godlike now committing to this fight, trying to push past Yangon Galacticos, get away from Tiamba. Smile, Molotov out the door, does manage to burn them back, but doesn't quite tag too much damage. Takes a nade to his feet, but does stay alive, stays standing, can start to heal, and out the window Romeo falls. Over the balcony, and Godlike might try and follow him.
Vitality taking a lot of hefty damage here coming through from GS. Unlikely that that's going to continue any further. Yangon Galacticos, defending champions, currently set to go through to the next stage. But not with glory, not straight to the finals. They'll have to play another stage here prior. Alpha 7 look to regroup. They're just going to daisy chain over towards the rest of the squad. Quiz now as well as Revo.
The main threat for Alpha 7 right now is Horror on their position. Everybody else from the south side is down the cliff or in the water right now. So in terms of danger to Alpha 7, that northern edge is much more important to keep an eye on, but you do still need to be worried about teams trying to sneak their way up, like S2G from their position, to move in and maybe get a cheeky little shot, make a little opening, and try and force their way into the fight in a much more favorable position. I'm surprised that the teams over on the south side in the water have survived for as long as they did. They are mightily tested right now. You can see, I mean, Mormon is right close to them. They're trying to get their weapons out here, get a shot off, maintain that pillar position, maybe find a shot, maybe find it, Tony K, maybe, no. Can't quite get up high enough. There's Federalis, he's on top of Mormon. He's just about getting the DPS out, but it's not happening.
Just holding him under though, trying to stop him from getting the breathe off. Making it difficult. Federalis dipping back down again, but yeah, for Vitality, E-Arena and Ida, this is a tough experience to be in. You see right now S2G trying to see if they can get themselves further up, to peek over towards where Alpha 7's currently playing, but they are having a struggle bus of it. It looks like it's still happening as well.
The circle shifts out west, Blank. It keeps Alpha 7 in, but that eastern cabal of players, Godlike, Yangon Galacticos, the duo, Tiamba as well, that's all going to have to force west now. And I think it's going to get messy. For Godlike, I feel like it may be the best opportunity for them to just go as far forward as they can, as fast as possible, to try and escape the pressure that may find its way further east. But Yangon Galacticos want to try and get ahead of it too. They are just immediately sending straight on in.
You may as well try and get further into this. Again, this is sort of undecided though, because you have the western apartments and the eastern apartments on this one. It is marred by this massive road that goes in between. Crossing that's going to be a bit difficult. We are on that coin toss type of a circle now as well, where teams on that northern side likely will have to move. Question is, how well can Alpha 7 hold them out? Because there's a lot of teams moving in tandem. Tiamba setting up the smokes now to try and get across towards where Godlike are currently playing as a 3-man. I like this though from them. They're going to try and take the fight closer to Tiamba. Be prepared for this maneuver.
Elementrix gets mollied by a teammate off in the distance as they combat with Horror and Etch in the meantime. Godlike, they push back out, as you said, Blank. Now, against 4 players from Tiamba. Tiamba needing a little bit more dynamism than we've seen from them so far in these group stages. Let's see if they've got that in the pocket. Milu with a nade on close, first to step forwards, doesn't get contested on the angle, and now has to back off, but immediately stepped out by Spauer and will be able to take it down. Eagle tries to fly around the corner, but it's not working out. Godlike hold well for the first volley.
Great initial knock there from Spauer into a second. Will take the knock on himself just to ensure that Godlike can go forward. It's heroic play here from Spauer to ensure that they get the 5 elims. They're 1 off from cresting back into the top 5.
But hey, Blank, they pay the price. Spauer, sure, he was able to keep them in this one with some beautiful peaks, but the off angles there, they punished him. It meant that now Godlike has only 2 players to play with, but with 5 elims, they've still got a little chance of getting across here. A lot of teams now getting forced into unfavorable positions, and Etch have to take the top floor against the Wolves on the north side. Horror are going to have to move as well, Blank. 40 seconds to get out of their building and across a road and into no man's land.
Revo taking a knock here is kind of bad news for Alpha 7 because this is exactly the time that they want to be on a swivel right now. They want to be that moving turret as teams attempt to make their crossings. How many smokes these players have remaining? Edge as well as Wolves know they need to get rid of one another first before they make that cross. As S2G slowly shimmer their way down the coast.
Playing on those cliff sides. There's still players swimming out in the water, but they are going to be so close now to the teams on the coastline. Etch trying to drop down into the Wolves, but they are ready for them. Teeth are bared and snapping at the heels as Etch try and make their way on through. With only 2 players, though, it's being made difficult. Another bounce on the nade there for Elementrix, just causing them to worry. On the north side, Horror still yet to leave their building. Another knock sent their way. A self-nade from Sleepy, and they are going to get flushed away. Grease out from Alpha 7. NASA from Edge. Everybody stepping into the fight, back into the blue, and they fall down. But Wolves, similarly, will take that tumble too.
Vitality out, was still in actually with E-Arena on the backside. They just lost 1 more player. The final one up is on very low HP, can no longer afford to go under. Squeeze out now, back up, and remember, Revo was knocked, but they get it back up on his feet. These are very, very important points for Alpha 7 going forward. Aura somehow still alive here up against Edge on that northern edge, but for how long, I don't know. No Fear will get the shots off with the S12K. Get themselves further into this game. 21 players remain and 9 teams still up. Everyone has been cut down to size.
The swimmers have made it to landfall there, and S2G have to fall back to try and deal with it. The north side decimated. No Fear, the last to stand for it. And across the road, I don't think that you're going to be able to make that one work. Mormon goes down. Vitality were eliminated. Everybody from the water now not finding their way through. Oh, hang on a minute. Ida, okay. They managed to get Swain all the way across now and actually up onto the high ground with maybe a chance of doing something here. He's going to be able to burn it out. This is the last nade in the pocket coming through from Kamikaze, but there's one for the backlines. And Ida go down.
Tony K though, see him just underneath, has a nade, looks to send it up over towards Sol K. Revo will catch him as he tries to move away from the roaming nade sent up by E-Arena. And at 2G, they need to bolster their ranks, so we have so many teams. We had 7 going into stage 9, and it all closes here now, John.
A lot to play for. Salme, the last player now to stand for Godlike, with Yangon Galacticos inside the building, puts the nade in. And down they go. Yangon Galacticos will fall. Alpha 7 now descend from their building and look to take the fight straight to S2G. The solo player from Godlike is going to be left to his own devices. Patch himself back up. The stage 9 circle is going to the middle of the road. There is no cover. There is no hope. All you've got is the barrel to back you up.
And all roads lead back to Alpha 7 here in North George. It is their bread and butter. Can they clean things out now, solidify their position in the rankings before we head into the last 2 Miramars? MG3 in the hands of one, moved underneath. Nade goes long, Revo on the sidelines. Carrillo starts to move up, looks over towards Salme, who's making a heroic attempt for the Godlike team.
1v4 would be necessary, but he's in the blue zone and he's going down, and there is nothing he can do about it. Alpha 7 though, find the chicken dinner. They find what they were looking for. They move in with a pretty hefty scoreline too. And the drums, the horns, lights up the arena.
Really, really good stuff here coming through from Alpha 7. Happy to see it on this squad. Back to basics here in North Georgia.